Welcome back. In this video, I'll be talking about two Christmas books that I highly recommend that I read this year. One of them was actually a reread, and the other was a first-time read. So I'm just going to start with my reread here, which was, this book is really, really big. Letters from Father Christmas by J.R.R. Tolkien. So each Christmas, every year, from in between the years 1920 and 1943, Tolkien would write letters to his children, which were supposedly from Father Christmas, or if you live in the US like I do, we call him Santa Claus, or St. Nicholas, or whatever you want to call him. And these letters from Father Christmas would chronicle all the crazy events going on in the North Pole, how the reindeer got loose, scattered the presents everywhere, how one year the North Polar Bear, which is Father Christmas's highest assistant, the North Polar Bear climbed up the North Pole and then fell off and into the roof of Father Christmas's house, and of Father Christmas's wars with the goblins of the North Pole. This is such a fun, delightful, and light read that I highly recommend. It's written very much in the style of The Hobbit and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. It's a fun, light read, and Tolkien invented an entire goblin language for this book, a language for the goblins. Now, Tolkien already invented 14 languages for his world of Middle-earth, most of them fully developed actual languages. And he invented an entire other runic language for the goblins in this book. There's the goblin alphabet, which I just find to be fascinating. And you can really see how Tolkien took some inspiration from his own works from Middle-earth and put them into this book. He took inspiration from his own works and put them into one of his other works. Like, there's this one elf named Ilbereth, which is very, very similar to Elbereth Gilthoniel from the Lord of the Rings, which Elbereth is the elves' name for Varda, who created the stars. Varda is basically an angel. The Valar are angels in Middle-earth, but I don't want to go off into a lore tangent. I'm a big Tolkien fan. So it's rather difficult to not go into tangents on the Middle-earth lore because there's so much lore behind it. This is a fantastic book, lighthearted read that I really enjoyed. And Tolkien's four children, John, Michael, Christopher, and Priscilla, never actually thought or even suspected for a moment that their father was the one writing them these letters. They always thought that it was Father Christmas. Well, for a while they did. Here's what one of Tolkien's children said about the subject.
They used to come either by post with the postman, because he bribed the postman to put them through the door with the post, or if they were a bit late, they were on the mat in front of the stove in the dining room, and there would be snowy footmarks across the floor. We never discovered, for a long time, never suspected that they were him, until one night we used to hang our big stockings on the bottom of the bed, and one night Michael and I still had a room together. And the door opened. We hadn't gone to sleep. And he stubbed his foot on the door and said, "Blast," in the only way that he could say it. And we knew who it was. We hid under the blanket so as not to let him know that we knew. And we never let on to anybody that we knew till years afterwards.
Tolkien was extremely clever in creating this whole Father Christmas thing. And one of the things that I really like about this is how incredible he was with writing the letters. Like, here, in my copy of it, it shows one of the letters that Father Christmas, or really Tolkien, wrote to his children. And Tolkien had terrible handwriting, even worse than my handwriting, which is saying quite a lot. And so he cleverly, really, really cleverly disguised his handwriting by saying that, first of all, Father Christmas is really old. Father Christmas is over 2,000 years old. He's really old, so his hand shakes a lot. But also, it's super, super cold in the North Pole. So that's another reason as to why his handwriting was so uneven and shaky. And I think that's just brilliant how Tolkien made all that. It's amazing how Tolkien took the time to do this for his children. This is such a delightful read. I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. You should definitely read it if you haven't already. It's a very good book that I think can be enjoyed by children, but not only children, but also adults as well. And the greatest children's stories are the ones that both children and adults can enjoy. That's the first book. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. It's a great book. I reread it every Christmas. The next book was a first-time read, and it is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. This is not just the Christmas Carol. This is a collection of a whole bunch of Christmas stories that Charles Dickens wrote, but A Christmas Carol is about 70 pages. It's all this right here, so that's about the size of it. It's only 70 pages long. And I'm sure you all know this story very well. There have been so many adaptations about it. The story is so famous. Story about Ebenezer Scrooge, a man who hates Christmas and who hates the poor and cares for no one but himself. And then one night he goes into his room and he's met by a ghost. And each day for 3 days, these 3 ghosts show him visions. Visions of the past, the present, and the future. The first one is the ghost of Christmas past, the second one is the ghost of Christmas present, and the last one is the ghost of Christmas yet to come. And these ghosts basically show him all these visions of the potential past, the potential present, and the potential future to try to really change his ways and make him a much more kind man and realize how stupid and idiotic he is. I'm pretty sure Scrooge is also the one that inspired The Grinch by Dr. Seuss, which The Grinch is such a great book too. And there have been a lot of great movie adaptations of it as well. I haven't seen any adaptations of A Christmas Carol yet. I definitely will sometime. But I do know that the book was so good. It's 75 pages, so it's a very, very, very short book. And even though it's under 100 pages, Charles Dickens was able to pack so much into those 75 pages. His characters are so amazing, the plot is incredible, the prose, the dialogue, everything about it is just so great. I haven't read hardly any Charles Dickens, and I need to because Charles Dickens is such a great writer. I can see why he's so famous for sure, and why this story in particular is such a famous story. In the beginning, Scrooge is a terrible person who hates everyone, he treats his family terribly, but then the ghosts show him the visions in an attempt to change his heart. I think this book is beautifully written. It's so great how you really hate Scrooge in the beginning because Scrooge is just such a terrible person, but then by the end you're cheering for him. And all this, what Charles Dickens was able to do in just 75 pages. It's incredible. You feel all of Scrooge's feelings at the end of the book, his joy at discovering hope and love and true meaning in life. I think that Charles Dickens' strongest spot in his writing is with the characters. All of his characters, and I haven't read much of his books, I've read part of Oliver Twist, and then I'm reading Great Expectations right now, but his characters are so well fleshed out. They go through excellent character development, and there's just so many sides to them. They're so complicated, and you really feel like they're real people. It's incredible how real all of these characters feel. They're deep and many-sided, and there's so many layers to them. His character development is amazing, and the plot, you can tell, is very well thought out too. Everything about the story is so well thought out. Scrooge, and the story, and the journey that Scrooge's character goes on. The plot is just so fantastic, and the descriptions, and the story is so immersive, and the descriptions are vivid and really make you feel like you're there with the characters. 10 out of 10. An incredible book. Highly recommend. Great book for Christmas. Yes, this is a great book. 10 out of 10. I highly recommend. I think that A Christmas Carol just became one of my most favorite books ever. Probably in my top 10 books. And if not top 10, then definitely top 15. Fantastic. So yeah, those were my 2 Christmas book recommendations. My favorite books that I read over Christmas. Letters from Father Christmas and A Christmas Carol. I highly recommend both these books. You need to read them. They're so good. They're so good. A Christmas Carol is so famous for a good reason. But anyway, that is the end of this video, and this is probably the last video that I'm going to post this year, and there's a very high chance that I'm not going to be posting anything next week. So I'm going to take a break next week, I think, from YouTube, so don't expect any more content for about a week or 2 now. And hopefully I'll post my December reading wrap-up some way, like, perhaps midway through January, I'm thinking. So, next week I probably won't post anything. But yeah, everyone, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Thank you so much for watching. And I think I'm going to end this video with the last words of the story, A Christmas Carol. It was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.